Hey everyone, Egman here with another video. Before we get into this one, I really want to thank everyone who joined into my live stream this weekend. It was a lot of fun. I had moderate expectations for it, but it exceeded it by a lot. So thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun, and hopefully you guys had some fun too, and got some inspired by some potential decks. And of all the ones that I kind of put together for that event, I had a few Zamasu lists, and I wasn't super confident for it, so I simply didn't play it. I didn't know how to build the deck, and it wasn't something I was comfortable with. And so, literally, the next game I played after the stream was this is a Jared's list, and it's I played against it. I felt really confident in it, and it felt really strong. So, yeah, I wanted to play against it, and I wanted to talk about it and just go over. What I liked about it and what a really good Fuse Zamasu list can look. So we've got the leader here, so it's Goku Black and Zamasu. So when this card attacks, look up to 5 cards from your top of your deck, choose up to 1 blue or yellow Goku Black or Zamasu card among them, add them to your hand, then shuffle your deck. This is really good for being able to find your combo pieces, and since it takes like 5 to 6 turns at least to get everything in place, being able to just find the pieces you need and get that consistency really helps out the deck. So that's a great part. And then also, when your opponent has 3 or more energy, you may draw 1 card, then choose up to 1 of your energy, switch it actively, and flip this card over. So it's an interesting awakening condition. It just depends on your opponent having 3 energy. So technically, I mean, your opponent can stall it at 2, but you have ways of giving your opponent's energy and that kind of stuff. So that's not a terrible issue. And I think most people will go up to 3 or 4 energy without and then maybe around 5 say, hey, maybe I should probably not play until their win condition. So, but I think that's pretty easy to do. Waking on turn 3 is not too crazy, or even your turn 2 if they go first. So that's nice. And then on the awaken side, so when this card attacks, look at the 5 cards from the top of your deck, choose up to, it's the same thing really. But when this card attacks a leader card, this gets minus 5k power for duration of the turn. So you're not supposed to go aggro with this leader anyways, so I think it's fine. It's not really an issue. And it doesn't affect attacking battle cards, which is nice. And then also, activate once per turn. If your opponent has 8 or more energy, choose up to 4 cards from your opponent's life, place them in the bottom of your deck in any order. This is pretty much your win condition, so we want to try to get your opponent to 8 energy, and then just decimate half their life or all their life, because if you're getting to like turn 5 or 6 and your opponent still has like all their energy, something's gone wrong. I'll just say that. So there's that. And then also activate once per turn. For 1 energy, choose one of your opponent's battle cards and return it to the owner's hand. So that's a good effect, being able to just kind of get something off the field, something assumedly your opponent played like 3 or 4 for 1 energy. That's great. I've kind of already talked about cards returning to hand, and sometimes it's not really good, just because some cards are strictly good just because the auto that happens when you play them, and the body is just whatever. So like if they play like Foreseeing Hit and you just return it to their hand, then they've got like another 20k Double Strike crit coming that also fishes 2 cards out of your hand. So not the best effect. Being able to KO it or like put it like even like the top or bottom of their deck would have been great, but that's not the case. So it's all right. It's good for spot removal when you need it, and kind of it slows down your opponent somewhat. So and let's go into let's sort it by I usually like cost or color. Ascending. There we go. So let's talk about let's just talk about the blue cards first. So he's got a couple extra cards: 2 Xenobuns, 2 Sensu Bean, 2 Plan for Destruction, 2 Mafuba. I don't think you really need to be running a lot of Plan Destruction. I think 2 is a good amount, and you don't really need to ramp outside of like extra card ramp isn't necessary. This 3-drop Goku Black is fantastic for that, but it's a good effect, and I think Xenobun can be good, just being able to untap everything. There's some worry if you're playing against someone they play Tien, then Xenobun doesn't do anything as a dead card, but I think it's a cool idea for that. I'm not sure if I'd use it moving forward. I don't know if Sensu Bean's better than it or not. I mean, you get to have more flexibility. It's kind of like, I don't know, Sensu Bean is Xenobun is kind of like a greeter version of Sensu Bean, and with all the Tians moving around, I'd say I wouldn't keep this in your main after going game 1 at least. Game 2 I'd side it out, just because that people are going to be playing Tian in their sideboard. So, but that's still fine. 2 Mafuba. A great counter, being able to do all that kind of stuff. So There's that, and then we'll go into our Goku Black engine. So first, Master Replication, we'll talk about this. So it's a field card, permanent. Your shadow tokens in your battle area can attack, but they gain blocker, which is important. And then also, when you play a Goku Black card in your battle area, if your leader card is Goku Black or Zamasu, play one shadow token, which is a 10k, but also has 5k power. So just the fact that they're blockers is fantastic. They don't have any energy costs, so something that says, KO something with an energy cost of X or less, you can't do. Though there's like some cards such as like Mass Sand where you pick up to 5 energy, and since it doesn't add anything to the energy, you can pick it. So I don't. It's a really niche ruling for tokens. It's probably one of the more vague things about this game, but it's really good. It has some sort of like weird anti-removal effects and also blocker associated with it, so that's great. And any shadow tokens you make otherwise can help you out with that. For example, Nightmare Scythe Goku Black. So it has barrier, and also when you play this card, if your leader card is Zamasu or Goku Black, play 2 shadow tokens. So being able to play Master Replication turn 2 and then this on turn 3, you get to play for 3 energy. You get 3 tokens. All of them have blocker. You got this barrier Goku Black, which is a 15k, and so it's just a lot of value you get from it, and it can be really defensive, which this deck needs. You really need to tank up with this deck, so I think it's a good effect and good for there. We kind of skipped over this guy, so this is a Goku Black that was from like the set 4 or 5 expansion set promos. So auto, when you play this card from your hand, activate the skill at the end of this turn. If there's a card that's both blue and yellow in your energy, draw 2, choose 1 card in your hand, place your draw pair, then choose up to 1 of your blue or yellow energy, switch it active mode. So a lot of stuff this card does, but being able to cycle with this is good. Being able to +1 or even go +2 if Master Replication is out, so that's fantastic. And all that. Just a great card. You're already running multicolor anyway, so there isn't a reason you shouldn't. Then we'll look at this one real quick. So this is Goku Black Evil's Accomplice. Jeez. So it has Deflect, and also once per turn, choose 1 card in your hand, place your drop here, then you choose 1 Mass Replication from your deck and activate it, then shuffle your deck. So being able to play that off, kind of search for it and get some extra copies of it at the cost of having to discard 1 card, but you still have the 5k combo with the Goku Black and just the body and that kind of stuff. I think it's a good effect, and just helps you out a lot. You really want to find this turn too. So you can since this Goku Black is also searchable by your leader, it's really easy to find it. So you have more than 4 copies of Mass Replication in your deck without having to. So like you have more copies of Mass with more potential to search them. That's what I'm trying to say, which helps out the deck a lot. And then lastly, we've got Super Saiyan Rose, Goku Black, Inviting the Darkness. This is fantastic. So it's also a 10k with barrier when this card is played and your leader is Goku Black or Zamasu, add the top card from your deck to your energy. So being able to do that is fantastic. But also, when you play this card and your leader card is Goku Black or Zamasu, at the end of your opponent's turn, reveal the top card of your opponent's deck. That card is a battle card placed in your opponent's energy mode and rest mode. Otherwise, draw 1 card and your opponent shuffles that card back in. So a lot of text there. In general, being able to ramp yourself is a good effect, and then also helping your opponent ramp so you can get into the kill range for 8 life or 8 energy for them feels real good. Just in general, it's real nice. And the only thing that you have to be careful about is a couple of things. One, if you hit any of your energy exhaust things, they just come in rest, and then also we do run a little bit of black and some green as well, so that can be tricky as well. But it's not. I think it's more important for you to it's not as hard as for you to get to 6 energy as it is getting your opponent to 8 energy. So your big bad boy needs 4 specific blue and 2 specific yellow, which I think is the more major concern for that. So going to let's look at yellow real quick. So we're running Flying Nimbus. This is I think I'm probably going to make a video about veggies pretty soon, but I think they are going to be one of the bigger things in this meta to really just be scared about. They've got a lot of aggro potential and all that kind of stuff. So I think Flying Nimbus can help you out a lot with that. Just in general, I think this will be. I don't know. I think it's going to be a slower format, but also have the potential for someone to burst you down. I think it's going to be a little bit more open than this past format of just, get to turn 3 or 4 faster. So there's that. And then also Hidden Ambition Zamasu. This is just a free Zamasu you can summon if you have a Goku Black. So just a quick one you can get out, so you can use your fused Union Potara for that. So it's also just, indestructible, barrier, deflect guy, but not so good. Just play it for free, and then go to fusion. That's really what you need to do this for. So and then looking at our multicolor cards, we've got Beerus Fickle God. This is just either you're able to put this in your energy, and then you don't have to tap it when you use it, or even like just a draw 1 isn't too bad for this, this kind of effect. So a lot of flexibility there. Frost Deadly Poison, love this card. It is super expensive to use, but if you're able to use it, it feels really good. So the battle card your opponent is playing is played in rest mode, and it skills negated for the duration of the turn, and then you draw a card. And then also, if your life is at 3 or less, choose one of your blue or yellow energy, switch to active mode. So a lot of text on there, but this is a fantastic card for a lot of reasons. It's kind of like Crusher Ball and Cold Bloodlust put into one. But it can be, a little bit more of a barrier to play against. So just because you have to have 3 energy untapped, and then, 1 specific blue, 1 specific yellow, and all that. And also you can't just charge this card too, because it has energy exhaust. So, it's really hard to play it, but if you're able to counter someone with this, you feel real good about it. So there's that. Also, we've got Fuse Zamasu the Cunning. So counterattack, indestructible, Aegis for blue, yellow on top. You can just use your Aegis effect. We don't really see a lot of Aegis effects being super good right now, but it's just an option for decks. Really, mostly just yellow decks, because blue decks are just their faded TN. But if your leader card is a Zamasu card and it's your opponent's turn, reduce the energy cost in this hand of this card in your hand by 2. So just having a counter attack that's also a blue yellow, that's also Zamasu that you can search. A lot of flexibility there. What else? We've got our secret rare. I don't know if this card is necessary in this deck. It doesn't feel like it does too much, but being able to play this for 5, and then being able to draw 4 and then tap 4 of your opponent's cards feels not too bad. And I think this deck gets enough energy that it's not impossible for this to play on both accounts. So I think it's a cool card. Great as a one of, but I don't think it's necessary for this. And then lastly, our Fuse Zamasu. I've been kind of talking about this the entire thing, so maybe I should have talked about it first. But it's it's indestructible Unipotara for 4 blue and 2 yellow specific on a blue Goku Black and a yellow Zamasu. Auto: when you play this card with Union, your opponent reveals their hand. You choose 2 cards from it and add them to your energy in rest mode. So fantastic on a lot of counts. Being able to just snipe cards out of your opponent's hand, great. Being able to put them in their energy for potential for your win condition of just hitting them for 4 for free, and all of that is just really good, and it's just a solid win condition. Also, this is a Zamasu, so if you need to go into a second one, you can just play another Goku Black and then fuse with the fused one and the Goku Black. So a lot of flexibility there, in case you just don't get them to enough energy. The second one will definitely get them there. So, and lastly, just some anti-meta cards. Kami Global Unifier. I think this will be pretty staple for just a generic combo, generic anti-meta card. I think boards are getting really wide right now, so having this available will be helpful for a lot of people. And then also Bardock Awakened Instinct. When you play this card, choose with Overwhelm, draw 2 cards, and choose 1 card in your hand, place your drop area. So being able to cycle with this is great. And also, I think the biggest thing is that some of these cards can just be so dead in your hand with energy exhaust. In the past, it's always been like, well, I can't really use this card, but at least, worst case, I can put it in my energy. That's a little bit harder with these energy exhaust cards because they enter in tap, so it's like even worse than putting them in your energy. In some points of the game. So being able to discard cards that are just dead in your hand is a fantastic thing to do. So this can help you out a lot with that. So I think that's going to be it for this deck. I don't know how good Zamasu is going to be moving forward. I'm a little bit skeptical of it just because its win condition kind of on a surface level can be really played around, because you can just say, I just stopped charging energy, which helps me because now I don't have to waste a card in my hand and I can be really aggressive. But on the flip side, I feel this deck has a lot of defensive potential too, and I've really seen that shine. So I don't think it's as dead in the water as people originally thought about it, and really just deserves some more experimentation and more analysis than just saying, oh, getting your opponent to 8 energy is bad, and giving them energy helps them out more than hurts them most of the time. So I do agree with that, but I think there's some potential. So thank you so much to Hellmonkey or Jared for giving me this list. I really do appreciate it, and for the game. We had like an hour-long game, and it was really close, and he was able to pull it out with the double fuse Zamasu combo, which felt really bad to lose against, but I bet it felt really awesome for him. So that's going to be it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you all next time.